Hey, I'm Brian Miller, magician and motivational speaker. If you're a regular subscriber, thanks so much for sticking with me, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. The previous vlog was all about Nevin. He's a 20-year-old college student, an aspiring professional magician, very talented, very passionate. I took him under my wing over the last year. He's kind of a student or a protege of sorts. He's gone on the road with me a bunch this summer. If you've been following the channel for a while, you saw him in a whole bunch of my vlogs this summer while he was home on break, where he would come with me and kind of shadow and learn the business of magic. And in the video a couple days ago was all about getting him through the first few professional gigs that he's been able to work as a magician, and kind of some thoughts and things that he's learned and that he's learning as we're doing them. We had kind of an extended conversation at the beginning of that vlog that went on for about 4 or 5 minutes, but that was actually only 4 or 5 minutes of a 20-minute conversation that we ended up having to the camera. Of course, I had to cut it down for the purpose of the vlog, but there was a lot of really good information in that conversation for aspiring magicians, aspiring entertainers, maybe part-timers trying to get full-time, or amateurs trying to go professional. So I wanted to put the entire conversation almost unedited here in this video for you. Just edit out a couple of ums and long pauses that would have been boring to watch. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of this. If you did, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for a lot of great content. Share this on all the magic channels. Please enjoy. So basically, if you're new to this channel, you don't know who this is. Introduce yourself.
I'm Nevin.
That's Nevin. This is Nevin.
So
Nevin is a, okay, so first of all, I met you, and I was trying to think about this. Was it 2016?
2015.
It was 2015.
Good try.
Was it?
2015, yeah.
2015. Okay,
That's when I graduated high school.
Right. Alright, so you know when you graduated high school. I don't know why I'm questioning you on that. So I met Nevin when I was performing at his safe grad high school graduation party. And everybody all night while I was there, like the first, I don't know, first 20, 30 minutes I was there, first couple of groups I performed for, every time I said, hey, I'm the magician tonight, somebody would go, oh, do you know Nevin? And it just kept happening. And then eventually, about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes into my night, I noticed there's a dude just kind of hanging towards the back of a crowd, watching, enjoying what I'm doing, but not watching the same way that, and when you're a magician, you can always tell when someone else is a magician. And I was like, you Nevin? He was like, yeah, I'm Nevin. Like, I've been hearing about you. So we met then, and Nevin is an aspiring professional magician, currently sophomore in college.
Junior.
You're a junior this year?
I've been a junior this year.
Why did I think you were a sophomore?
Because you thought I was a sophomore back in the other Magicians with Fidget Spinners vlog.
Right, because I thought you were then, and I was wrong then too.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was like. The timeline didn't make any sense when I was just thinking about that. So okay, you're a junior in college. Good. I know him really well. He's a junior in college, but you're going to college here in Connecticut, though. That's why you guys who do follow the channel saw Nevin a lot over the summer in the vlogs, but you haven't seen him much this fall because he's back at school in classes doing the whole grades thing. How's that going, by the way? Great. So, if any of your professors are watching this, studying. I have two degrees I've never used. I'm a big fan of education, even if you never use it. I realize it sounded sarcastic as I just said that, and it wasn't sarcastic. I'm a big fan of education, even if you don't use it. It sounds sarcastic every time I say it. There's no way to say that. I mean it very seriously. No one believes me. So basically what's happening, what we're doing here today, I've also noticed I have a habit of when I'm doing interviews, I've been on TV a lot, when I manage to like uncross my legs and talk to somebody and then recross them and then uncross them as I talk again. And I have an interview that I did on a local channel that's coming up in a few weeks. It's not here nor there, but it's coming up in a few weeks, and I just can't wait to see how many times I cross and uncross my legs over the course of it. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to make a compilation of just how many, like right in the row.
You can turn it into a drinking game.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We'll be wasted. I don't even drink. It would take me 2 times. I'd be like, that's it for me. I'm out. Tap. So, what we're doing today, the whole goal of this video, the whole goal of today, is to get Nevin to do successfully his first ever stand-up magic show. So you want to talk a little bit about this event?
So this event, I just got a message today. So it's we were expecting 100 people. It's gonna be 50 people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna
Just
be
50 people.
50 people this time.
That's better.
Yeah, because I'm doing a half-hour walk around, which so I don't know if you don't know what walk around is I'm gonna be walking from group to group for a half hour, doing some close-up magic for them, and then after that I've got the half-hour stand-up show. So I'm gonna be doing that for a group of 50 people.
That's a good. That's actually a much more manageable group, especially for your first time ever doing a stand-up show. So the kind of theme of today's vlog, video, whatever this is all about kind of finishing, putting the final touches, getting him ready, and then actually doing it. So I'm going to be going with Nevin to the gig, which hopefully will be helpful. First, I'm going to film, so he starts to get some promotional video, some footage to cut into a promo video as he's getting his website and things going. We'll talk about some of this stuff over the course of of today. But hopefully having me there will be helpful. Like I actually don't know from your perspective if it feels like it's going to be helpful or if you feel nervous or both.
I just feel like when I'm doing what I'm doing, I feel like I'm not even going to really be giving you notice because you're just going to be standing there with the camera and all my focus is going to be on what I'm doing and what's in my hands.
That's what it should be.
And how the people are reacting as opposed to like, you're watching too.
Yeah,
so.
Actually, like you just said, because I'll be filming you, I think that'll be easier for you to ignore the fact that I'm there because I'm not just there watching. That I'm actually there just kind of filming and kind of hiding behind the camera. So before we get into, and we're going to take a break from this in a second, and then we're going to actually do the work we're here to do, which is to put the final touches. Now, those of you who follow the channel, you've seen me twice, I think, in the last 2 weeks, at least briefly, with Nevin. I've been meeting up with him specifically to get him ready for tonight for this gig. But backtracking a second, last night you had another first, which is your first time doing a restaurant gig doing magic.
Yeah, it went really well. So there are things to remember when you're doing restaurant magic is people are gonna say no. Like I walked up in there and I wasn't really expecting people to say no. And the first 2 tables I went up to, people were like, "No, I don't want to see magic." And I was like, "Okay."
I think that's the only thing I forgot to talk you through in all the talks that we've done getting you ready for that was that what to do if somebody says no. Actually, I don't know what you ended up doing, but for me it's actually very easy when somebody says no. I go, "Well, thanks very much, enjoy your evening," and I move to the next table.
I did that exact thing. There's like just enjoy your meals and enjoy your night.
So for context here, there's actually 2 different approaches to walking up to a group when you're working an event or working a restaurant as a magician. There's one camp of magicians who believes with all of their heart that you should not ask if they want to see magic. You should just start doing a trick. And the thought process there is that most people have never seen a professional close-up magician in their life, so they actually have nothing to go on. They don't have enough information to know whether they do or don't want to see what you're about to do because they've never seen anything like it before. Kind of like if you had never heard music and someone said, "Would you like me to play a song for you?" Like they would have no idea whether they actually want that or not. That's that camp, that thought process. I'm in the other camp. I'm in the camp that believes you should always ask people if they want to see magic or not because most people are actually smarter than many magicians I feel give them credit for. They're also capable of deciding what they want to do with their time. And a lot of people when they're at these events, it's not like if you're doing a show with your name on the board or they bought a ticket to come see Brian Miller's magic show or Nevin's magic show. They're just there for the event and you happen to be there hired by the people who are running it. So they didn't come out just to see you. So I always feel like you have to ask them if they'd like to see some magic.
Well, I think that's a big thing too is that they're not going out to see magic. Yeah. They're going out, when I was there, they're going out to get food. They're going out to eat. So they really don't even know anybody's going to be coming up to their table to be like, "Hey, would you like to see literally anything?" You could be juggling. They would have no idea.
Yeah.
But like I found, and this is just like a backtrack thought or a hindsight thought, is that if you just open with a joke, because a lot of people are apprehensive when you ask them if they want to see a magic trick because they, like you said, they've never seen magic before, so they don't know what to expect. So when you open up with a joke, it breaks that barrier and it really like. They open up more and
I'm really glad that you discovered that, because I told him this a week or two ago, which is that I could be teaching you and prepping you for years, and you're going to learn more in the 2 hours you actually do the gig than all the years I could have been teaching you. Like, that's just always true when you actually get there. It's like when you're learning to be a teacher. You study for 4 years in college to be a teacher. You learn more in your first 1 day of actually being a teacher than you learned in 4 years at college studying education. So I'm glad you learned that, because for me, my goal within the first 10 seconds at every table is to get them to laugh. At least get a chuckle or a smile or a smirk. There's something about humor or laughter that really just binds people together, and you instantly, it almost like a social contract kicks in. Like, if you laughed at something I said, you owe me 1 minute of your time. Like, there's just something that just kind of kicks in there. So I'm glad you figured that out.
There's also another thing that I figured out real quick, and I think it's very important to touch on this because I think it's lost in my generation.
Okay.
And I say my generation, we're only 10 years apart, but there's still that learning gap.
Well, we have what happened is, for the first time in basically human history, within the span of only 5 years, we went from the old world, pre-technology, pre-social media, pre-computers in your hands, to this completely new world, and it changed so much so quickly. So 10 years actually makes a bigger difference now than it ever did before.
Absolutely. So what I learned is that my generation, we don't script our magic. Like, we don't have any scripting or anything for our magic. We just have people saying, this is how the trick is done, go do it. Like, they don't tell you anything of, presentation wise. And I found that's the biggest thing. So before the gig, I actually came up with a presentation for what I would open up at each table with, just to, prepare the jokes, what I was going to say, and kind of justify what I was about to do.
No, that's good. Well, and anybody who's ever studied with me, worked under me, talked to me, been in my general vicinity has heard me going on and on about, which is I'm kind of a presentation over everything kind of guy. And there's 2 camps for magicians for that too. There's the magic first, entertainment second, and then there's the entertainment first, magic second. And though I wish I lived in a world where I could always do pure magic for magic's sake, the truth of most professional entertainment settings is that you don't. You're just hired to make people give people a good time for the night and not offend anybody. And scripting your presentations goes a really long way for that.
And then while I was out there, I kind of figured out what tricks worked and what tricks didn't, and what presentational scripting worked and what didn't, which I found was more important than the tricks, because people are more fascinated with what I was saying than what I was doing. And actually, a lot of people wanted to talk to me more about why I was doing what I was doing, or how I came to this point to do what I'm doing. So
yeah,
which I also found very interesting is that
I spend half of my allotted time at every event talking and not doing magic, and it's not because I'm trying to waste time. It's because people are genuinely interested. They ask questions. When you say you're a magician, sometimes even before you've done a trick, they start asking you questions about being a magician. Did you have that happen to you?
I actually know that.
Okay, so sometimes that'll happen, but for the most part, you do 1 trick or 2 tricks, and then they want to start asking, how'd you get into magic? I used to love. Did you ever see this guy? They've never met a magician before. Most people have never. That's just not a common thing. So it's it's really interesting for people. So how did you feel it went overall last night?
I thought it went amazing. I thought people were thoroughly entertained. I only got 6 or 7 no's throughout the night out of the 20 or 30 tables I performed for.
Actually, on that note, real quick, what I wanted to tell you about that is when you had, you get, like you said 6 or 7 people over the course of 2 hours said no. That number will go down as you get better at working events. Not better at magic, but better at working events. Because what happens is, it's not like when you're better at magic and you have more confidence, less people will say no. What it is you start to develop that kind of spidey sense, that kind of sixth sense for which groups would not want to see magic. And you just start not going to those tables.
Well, I kind of figured out who didn't want to.
Yeah.
But the restaurant slowed down so much that that's something else you forgot to prepare me for, was the restaurant being dead at one point. So
somewhere right around 7 probably.
Yeah.
7:15.
Actually, I checked my phone once at 7, so
Yeah.
it was probably around there.
Yeah.
But I found that when the restaurant slowed down, I had to go to these tables because I had to go talk, like just ask them if they wanted to see magic. And then there are some tables I didn't even get to, like this one table, they had 2 kids. I saw they already had their food, so I didn't want to approach them.
Yeah.
But after they finished eating, they came over. I didn't even talk to them at all. The father was just like, "Can you show my kids something?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry I didn't get to your table. I saw you guys were eating. I didn't want to interrupt."
I'm glad you learned a lot just on your own last night, which is good because it's exactly what I say if I'm working a restaurant. I rarely have time to work restaurants anymore. Actually, the restaurant Nevin was doing last night is a restaurant that I spent a lot of years working in, and I know them really well. And then when my kind of career took off and my touring schedule travel, I don't have time to do local restaurants like that anymore. I pop in there occasionally, but I wasn't going to be able to see them for like the entire holiday season. So I offered. I said, "Hey, I got this kid, student, guy, dude, magician. He's really good. He's passionate. He would love the opportunity to come work." And they were like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I'm really, really glad that that it went well, that you learned all that. So I think we're gonna call. I don't know. I can't do what he just did. That's a generational gap right there. If I do that, I'm gonna feel like an idiot.
I felt stupid doing it. Don't worry.
It was offset a little bit by the hat.
No, I think the hat made it. The hat saved it. Honestly,
I'm gonna GIF that and put it all over the internet. I don't even know how to do it. What is?
All right, so you bend your arm and then you extend the other. Yep, there you go. It's kind of like you're about to sneeze, like, yep.
Dabbing, right?
Yep, dabbing.
All right, we got some real work to do.